screen. Her smile, it shines so bright. She's a queen with every scene. In the morning or the night, recipes and good vibes flow. Every video a gem. Her confidence, it grows and grows. We're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong. With every like and every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Recipes and good vibes flow. Every video a gem. Her confidence, it grows and grows. We're inspired like her friends. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong. Every share, we feel her energy. No storm too strong, she can't bear. She's setting us all free. Unstoppable Flora, she's got that power. Spreading her aura, blossoming like a flower. Through the highs and all the lows, she remains so strong. Her spirit always glows. She's where we all belong.
Petals got power, Florabella stands tall. Every drip, every drop, watch the haters fall. Channel sharp as thorns, ain't taking no mess. Scroll through her feet, feel that queen's finesse. Vines tangle tight, but Flora breaks free. Roots so deep, can't mess with her tree. From the mud she rises, roses from the dirt. Every comment section she lays down hurt. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless. From the garden green to the concrete wall, Florabella, unstoppable nature's child. Leaves whisper secrets, she's the loudest shout. From the channel buzzing, she never backs out. Seed of strength, through seasons she grows. In the face of doubt, her spirit glows. Cameras ain't a limit, she branches out. Thorns in her crown, she wears it no doubt. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless. Flora's anthem, blooming under pressure. Resilient, resolving, no lesser. Florabella's reign strong and relentless. Beauty in battle, queen sure defenseless.
Talk to someone else, cause I can't talk to bro boy. I can't talk to bro boy. I can't talk to bro boys. I can't talk to bro boy. I can't talk to bro boy. No, I can't talk to bro boy. I can't talk to. That nigga's crazy. Hopping in, bitch, and I saw it to be. Snakes in the grass, so they harder to see. My brother would give up his life to the O. He told me he'd go be a martyr for me. Said that she ready to corner the 6. I hit up Pauline and charter the P. Ain't really leave, but I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm riding riding around in Atlanta was sad, cause that nigga been going harder than me. Nothing to change, I'm just harder to please. Ferrari is making an SUV. We ain't got a choice, we ordering these. Shout out Noel for recording the V's. He know where this shit about to go. Cause nobody touching the flow. They say you alone at the top, but it's gotta be lonely below. You plus getting ready to diss, but don't even mention the hoe. And don't even mention the foe, unless you boys trying to go pro.
Whoa, I got more strikes than Adidas.
Yeah, I got the stripes fuck.
I don't chase bitches, I leave them.
Hoes screaming like I'm just.
I don't get mad, I get even.
Treat you niggas like a puzzle.
I don't get mad, I get even.
Treat you niggas, then you know.
Whoa, all that foundation she wearing, she thinks she QC. Telling I might sneak in with you with me. You must be Coach K, cause you ain't P. I'm on the jet like my last name Lee. Two sticks in my hand like I'm playing a Wii. G-Block babies will spank you for free. We rough niggas up, now they begging for peace.
Baby.
Stepping on shit out in French in my toe. Morning I told, I'm so OVO. Halloween coming, he wanna dress up, but he don't need no costume. I'm turning on ghosts. She called me mucus, I stay at her throat. Still hit that boy, got his ass hitting notes. My niggas were man,
So you know where this shit about to go. Cause nobody touching the flow.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Sorry for the late start. I am here. Hope you guys have a good night. Obviously, I want to keep things rolling out, so I'm back with another one. And I wanted to get to some of the things on my community wall. I asked you guys which topics you guys prefer. And of the two that I suggested, you guys chose when cops are the bad guys. All right, so we're going to get into it. I have a bunch of videos here for us to review. Make sure that if you are law enforcement and you're watching, that you don't get triggered. All right, I've done plenty of body camera videos where we're exposing the public and how they react and how they behave when they're encountering the police. And I think it's only right that we also look at the other side. And I'm assuming that's why everyone chose this one. All right, so let's get into it. Make sure you guys are ready to enjoy the show. Get you a little coffee, a little tea, a biscuit if you need one, and we're going to get right into it. Hey, Lana. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Jalen. We're going to get right into it, guys. All right, so the first one is actually a video. This is by Dr. Insanity. He has a lot of really good content, so make sure you guys go and check him out. I am going to be trying to link all the creators and things that I'm using in the description because, of course, they did the work. Obviously, us reviewing and things like that is a different type of work, but they did the work as well for us to be able to run, so there it is. Good morning, Matt Powell. Miss Jalen says, I need a biscuit. Me too, girl. Me too. It's still a little too early for me. I'm really not in the mood to eat yet. But maybe in like an hour or two, I'll probably get hungrier. But yes, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Matt Powell. All right, so we're going to get into the first one. This one's by Dr. Insanity. And a detective comes upon a particularly deviant officer. So we're going to be all over the spectrum. We're going to see cops who commit serious felonies and crimes like that, and we're going to see basic traffic stops. So let's get right into it. Oh, sorry, I'm not even sharing the screen. My bad. It is too early. Okay.
When they're actually secret killers in disguise.
Kelly? Yeah, right now you're charged with murder, and it is Kelly. No!
Here are 3 examples of when cops try to get away with murder, starting with the horrifying case of William Talley. On the 11th of May 2019, police received a worrying phone call explaining that former police sergeant William Talley had been in an argument with his girlfriend, Kelly Levinson. At some point during the fight, he fired gunshots at her. William quickly left the scene, stealing Kelly's truck, but was...
And now you guys know I mention all the time, right, that law enforcement, people who work with the public in general, but specifically law enforcement, they have particularly high rates of DV. All right, so, this is a fairly common thing, right? A common crime of the ones that police officers do commit. It's usually internal. It's usually things going on with them and their family. So this guy obviously was in a domestic well, his relationship involved domestic violence, his marriage. And so it escalated like most do, right? So let's get into it.
Worried he may have done more damage than he realized.
So I don't know anything since then.
So nobody's here has been injured.
No, that's what I told him when I called. He told me that he was over.
The police had to immediately treat this like a crime scene and decided to search the house to ensure Kelly's safety. There was one thing on the officers' minds, and they were all silently pleading that they wouldn't find her dead.
Deputy Brown, who used to work for me, there's a dog in there. Yep, she's right there. Sorry again, man.
Upon entering the house, evidence of some kind of physical altercation was scattered throughout. As they entered the kitchen, though, they would find Kelly's dead body lying on the ground. With all the evidence the police had, it wasn't difficult for them to determine their main suspect. But catching him was another matter. They knew that William had received both police and SWAT training, so he'd be difficult to catch. However, all of a sudden, police received a phone call informing them William had gotten into a car crash. The cops rushed to the hospital where they found their number one suspect waiting for them, bruised and bloodied.
We're going to take care of you now.
Whew, let me tell you, that is his karma, okay? He thought he was gonna get away with it, and I'm only laughing because it's just crazy, right? You delete your wife, and then boom, you get into a car crash not too far after that. You know, he probably really thought he was going to get away with it. These abusers feel like they own their partners. They feel like they have complete control. So, you know, at the moment that he decided to discard her, he probably felt like, okay, I win. Let me take off, and boom, he gets into a car accident. Very, very unfortunate.
Once William was discharged from the hospital, he was immediately brought to an interrogation room where the investigation would truly begin.
Can I ask what my charges are? Yeah, right now you're charged with murder. You're charged with violation of oath of office, and you're charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. That's what we're hoping you can tell us. Maybe once we start talking about it a little bit. It wasn't Becky, was it? Was it Kelly? Well, this cop?
William mentions two names here, Becky and Kelly. Of course, we know Kelly to be his girlfriend, but William was actually married to another woman named Rebecca Talley, who he'd been cheating on. William obviously appears dazed and confused,
So
but whether this is just...
It is against their rules, I guess, for which I believe that's true for all police departments, to be having an infidelity against your wife, right? For it to be public knowledge, all of that. Of course, we know a bunch of them cheat and they don't get caught, but it is against the oath and all that. So he was a philandering man on top of that. And these always seem to be like, I don't know what it is about philandering men, right? We're going to step outside of the cop because this is a human at this point who committed a crime. His role was simply a cop. But why is it that these men will have 10 other girlfriends and they'll still have the audacity to be jealous, aggressive? They want to know everything you're doing. They want complete control of everything, but they're out there running amok, sleeping with whoever, basically being community peen, and at the same time, he deleted his wife. For what? I have no idea.
An act or not is another question. He'd spent multiple days in the hospital and was discharged after being medically cleared, so it's unlikely he'd still be this out of it. Regardless, it at least seems to be keeping him calm, at least for now.
And you can sign this. Nobody's talking with me about things. Well, we're going to get to that. That's what we're hoping to get to. No, I'm not talking until somebody talks to me. I can tell you who, if we can get started there. And it is Kelly. No! Don't do that. No! Tally, come on. Tally. Deal. Billy. No! No!
There's a small chance William really is this distraught over Kelly's death.
And the sarcasm is well placed, right? He's not really distraught. He's keeping his head down because he's embarrassed. He's ashamed that he got caught. That's all this is. This is not him having real empathy and sympathy for the actions that he committed. He can't even keep track of which woman he even hurt, first of all, naming off all the women that he's dealt with, slept with, or whatever the case may be. But this is his way of, being, keeping shame away, right? Not obviously he's going to go to jail and things like that, but this is his way of not confronting it. He feels embarrassed, so he'd rather stare into a trash can or whatever the hell that is.
But he was completely unaware of what he was doing at the time. So it seems more likely that he's actually just using this as a guise to vent and scream about how his life is pretty much finished and over a small argument with his mistress. He's also likely frustrated that he got caught so easily. Remember, this is a man with SWAT and police training. He knows how to evade the cops, but almost instantly after going on the run, his plans were shut down in an incredibly unpredictable way. William manages to calm down while the detective talks to him, but...
And that's a good point by Dr. Insanity, right? I think he's more frustrated with himself, like, damn, I was on my way, I was going to be gone, maybe he was going to go straight to Mexico and disappear, right? And I just happened to get into a wreck. That's how karma works, right? What goes up must come down. So all the dirt that you do, eventually you're going to pay for that. And this was actually instant karma. Okay. And look, he left that hospital probably looking how the people who he hurt and harmed looked, right? He deleted his wife. And he just happens to get into a car accident that causes him to have 2 black eyes. That is karmic retribution if I ever heard it. You know what I'm saying? It's literally. But all right, let's continue.
Only for a few short seconds.
Here, let me get some napkins. No. Stop. Relax. Stop. It's all unnecessary to do. If you don't want to talk to us, that's fine, but let's not do this, okay? Okay? Just let's not do this. What's the garden? Right now you're hurting yourself. I don't care about me. Well, that hurt. There's no one else. I keep hearing people whisper or whispers. Okay. Well, what whispering do you hear? No, tell me the truth. Okay. There's no one else hurt. Okay.
What you're watching is a man who knows without a doubt that he's guilty, doing everything he can to try and find a way out. He's panicking, and the cops were probably extremely relieved when William finally asked for a lawyer and put an end to this dramatic interrogation. However, this obviously didn't help him at all, as the detectives already had all the evidence they needed to convict him. And William Talley was sentenced to life behind bars. Despite William being a local cop and even knowing some of the officers involved, this case was handled perfectly. A stark contrast to that of Matthew Boynton, whose case was so weird and corrupt that the cops ended up investigating.
So obviously things were pretty cut and dry with that officer. He deleted his wife. The evidence was all there. Probably his best bet was escaping, which didn't happen because karma said. Okay.
A shooting that never even happened.
You know you can't give a sworn statement and lie on it. Why would you do that, Matthew?
On the 15th of April 2016, police found Jessica Boynton hidden in the closet of her home with a gunshot wound to the head and a police-issued firearm in her hand. The county sheriff reportedly ruled her dead at the scene, but there was a problem. Jessica was neither dead nor shot. After she was rushed to the hospital, the ER found no entrance wounds or bullets. Instead, they found evidence of a blunt force attack to the back of her head. This case is already incredibly confusing, but what's worse is that the police's #1 suspect, Matthew Boynton, told cops that he received a text from Jessica saying she was about to commit suicide. After rushing home, he heard 2 gunshots coming from the house and called the police. Matthew was taken to the police station and interrogated, but was caught lying about a vital piece of evidence.
Now, besides that, right, what we're basically finding out is that she didn't die, she didn't pass away by a pew-pew to the head, right? Or she's not even passed away, actually. She has blunt force trauma to the head. Is this cop dumb? Is he dumb? Beck Sand says, is anyone shocked? I'm not. I'm a little shocked by this one, right? I'm a little shocked because what they're saying is he basically called to report a false crime, right? Saying that he heard pew-pews, but really what happened is somebody done bashed her head in. I don't get it.
This is where we join the detectives as they try to unwrap this baffling web of lies.
Do you recognize that bag? Yes, that bag that Jessica let me use to put all my gym stuff in when we used to be together. Okay, so when's the last time you saw that bag? It's been a long time. Like I said, when I used to work out at, there's 2 gyms in Thomaston. I don't remember the name of it. I used that one, and I had a gray Nike bag I used to work out in. So I interchanged my stuff like protein drinks, powder shakes like pre-workout, workout shorts, pants, shoes, whatever. I put it in that bag or my Nike bag.
Suspects who aren't telling the truth tend to over-explain as they feel they have something to prove to detectives. If they can give lots of information over, they think it'll convince the detective that they're not lying, as they couldn't possibly make all of that up. However, in actuality, suspects telling the truth will give a more instinctual, simplified answer to the question because they don't have to think about it as much. Bear that in mind as the interview continues.
So when's the last time you saw that bag? I mean, it's been a while. I don't know an exact date. I don't know. I think my stepdad, he had it in the white trailer, and that's been a while. And he brought it, but I haven't been through it or anything. Put it in my storage thing in my house, which is like when you pull in the driveway. Mm-hmm. It's a little storage thing on the right. You open the door and it's got all my stuff in there. I had to clean some of it out recently. That was tossed in there, but I mean, it's in there with a bunch of my stuff, like a brown tub I used to keep in my old patrol car with gym stuff in it and work stuff.
Remember, that answer was given in response to the question, when was the last time you saw this bag? Something that could have been answered in a single sentence. The detectives already knew that Matthew was lying about this bag, as that's the whole reason he was brought to this second interrogation. But now they're 100% sure he's hiding something, and they're about to call him out on it.
All right, Matthew. I've known you a long time. When y'all were in the process of moving, and you moved into the house that you're at now, your residence, did you or did you not see this bag?
Yes, sir. It's in my storage room in the garage.
Now, why would I be holding a picture of this bag?
I guess because Jessica brought it into you.
Why would Jessica have it if you had it at your house?
I don't know. I guess somebody got it from my garage or my shed.
Who would have got it?
There's a couple of people.
Okay.
I don't know
all right.
Exactly who.
The bag was completely filled with female clothes. And this is one photo of it. That's not yours.
No.
This whole thing might not seem like a big deal, but it's actually the root of a much bigger problem. This bag, along with everything in it, belonged to Jessica. So when it was discovered in Matthew's possession after he told police that he'd handed all of her belongings over, it confirmed that he had been lying under oath. Again, a small issue at first, but now that the detectives know he's comfortable lying about this, they know that almost every piece of information he's given them could be completely untrue.
The bag was turned into us. We have possession of the bag. We have evidence that said it came out of your storage room. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, sir.
Do you believe that statement to be accurate and true?
Not now.
Did you believe it then?
No, sir.
Matthew has now essentially confessed to stealing the bag of Jessica's belongings and lying under oath. There is the question of why he did this, but we haven't even gotten started on the assault part of the case. Why Jessica was found unconscious in their closet after allegedly texting Matthew she was going to shoot herself. As it turns out, though, the police would also never move on to that part of the case, and it remained completely unanswered. Matthew was charged with stealing and lying under oath, and after being placed on administrative leave, he resigned from the force, but went completely uncharged for whatever happened on the night of April 15th. Many people have been left wondering why that may be.
That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy. And it's crazy because he shouldn't be able to get away with a violent crime like that just because, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to look a little bit more into that one because that is crazy. I saw the first one and he got charges, so I would not have assumed that he wasn't going to get charges. Good morning to those of you who are coming in. Good morning, Amanda. We got Terrence. Bridget Renee says, good morning, Flora in chat. Good morning. Karen Del Signor says, why isn't he in jail? Well, he got felony charges for lying to the police, but it shouldn't be about press. At the end of the day, if he committed a crime, if he attacked his wife or the person he was with, he should be going to jail for that. I don't get what's going on here. Good morning, Michelle Blake. Let's get into the rest of this video. I believe there's a third person in this one. So.
But the most obvious answer lies in police corruption and the facts that the county sheriff just so happened to be Matthew's grandson.
Wow. Well, that's what nepotism does to all fields. Morning from Philly. Good morning, YouTube user. This is crazy. Definitely.
Dad, the same sheriff who lied by pronouncing Jessica dead at the scene. What's worse is that Jessica's head trauma left her without any memory of that night, so it's likely this case will remain unsolved forever. But
wow, the fact that that's not being talked about, that is insane. So he attacks her. Blunt force. Let's just say she's in a closet with a head wound. The sheriff, who just happens to be his granddaddy, pronounces her DOA, even though she's alive, but she has no memory of that night. A crime was obviously committed. I don't like that one. I'm going to have to look a little bit deeper into that case. Very crazy. Good morning from Montesano, Washington State. Good morning, Michael Wilbur. Let's continue. That one's very disturbing. I'm going to have to spin the block on you guys with that case and see. This looks like he posted this about a year ago, so I wonder if there's an update. But
people thought the same about the murder of Sherry Rasmussen, which lay unsolved for 23 years before new information revealed that the culprit was actually one of the police force's best detectives.
Now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
After decades of investigations, DNA evidence revealed the culprit lay unsolved forever. But people thought the same about the murder of Sherry Rasmussen, which lay unsolved for 23 years before new information revealed that the culprit was actually one of the police force's best detectives.
Now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
After decades of investigations, DNA evidence revealed that Stephanie was very likely the culprit of a murder committed in 1986. Because of the high-stakes nature of the case, the detectives made sure to meticulously plan this interrogation. Stephanie was a really successful detective herself, and she had recently...
Wow. You know what's crazy? How do you go the whole of my life? I've almost been alive 30 years. This year in August, I turned 30 years old. How do you go more than 30 years having committed a crime, and the only reason why we know is because of the advancements in DNA and all that stuff? I mean, she goes on to become a detective. That's a very good one, right? But geez, how do you go that far without being, I don't know. Good morning from Pike County, PA. Good morning, Jim K. Yeah, this is crazy. Good morning, Craig in Philly. Nice to see you here this morning. I appreciate you guys. Robert says, Cap, I don't get it. What do you mean? Yeah, she's very evil. You know, I think some people will say, well, she became such a good detective. If you started your career with blood, you know, there's really nothing good about anything that you accomplish out after that, you know, even though in essence it is technically good, but you aren't a good person. You know, two wrongs can be right. Sorry, not two wrongs. Two things can be true at the same time.
Recently received recommendations for her good work on a theft case. So the detectives used this and brought her in under the guise that they needed help with a case.
I didn't want to talk about this in the squadron because I don't know who people are listening. And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else is doing. Okay.
An interrogation room is a strange place for such a conversation to take place, so to put her mind at ease, detectives told her this was the place they'd least be likely to be overheard, as the case details were strictly confidential. Sherry Rasmussen's body had been found at her home after being shot 3 times. At the time, police suspected the murder was a result of a burglary gone wrong, but the case went cold when they couldn't identify the suspect. However, 23 years later, when revisiting the case, detectives found evidence that led them towards Stephanie, a girl who had been trapped in a love triangle with Sherry and her husband, John Rutten. So the detectives decided to bring up John's name to see how she'd react.
Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends.
Yeah.
I mean, what's this all about?
It's a case we're working on. It involves John, and in there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were good friends. I lived in the dorms for 2 years.
Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated. You know, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
Both the detectives and Stephanie have tried to seem as friendly and relaxed as possible around each other, but Stephanie is obviously starting to get very anxious at this point. Even though the detectives gave a somewhat believable excuse, she is now in an interrogation room faced by 2 detectives being questioned about a girl she supposedly murdered 20 years earlier. Her breathing has become faster, and her language is defensive, and her movements have become more erratic.
And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, you know, I got a problem with, you know, with that. Okay? So, you know, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, you know, now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
Obviously, you know about all the DNA stuff and things of the nature that, you know, gets done on cases nowadays. You know, if we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Stephanie chooses to provide DNA evidence, hoping her willingness to help out would ultimately prove her innocence. But unfortunately for her, just 5 minutes later, the detectives decide they've heard enough and put her in cuffs. Months later, after a long and arduous trial, a decision was made by the jury.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen. We further find the murder was of the first degree.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I remember seeing a documentary being advertised for this. I think I'm going to look into that because I hear this case was like, you know, she was a very jealous woman, you know, so for her to go and delete the wife, that's crazy. Michael Wilbur said she is guilty. Most people accused of false truth get mad. Yeah, I mean, you know, I just think that 30 years is long enough, right? Long enough for a woman's deletion to not go, for justice has not been served, right? They just believed it was a burglary gone wrong. It became a cold case. 30 years this woman was able to have a career, a life. She could have already had kids, everything. You know, she basically was able to live on after taking somebody's life, which is sort of the opposite of what she's supposed to be doing as a police officer. So, and she was promoted to detective. Like, that's crazy. So anyways, I'm going to leave that one there because I do want to look up I do want to do the Stephanie Lazarus case. I know you guys don't like those as much as you like the body cam, but I still am going to be trying to throw some of those in. I'm going to cover her. The next one, I'm going to skip the next one for a second. We're going to do this one where an Albuquerque officer is on the way to work under the influence. Okay, so let me get that video up for you guys. I'll get rid of this one and full screen.
On Sunday, June 9th, 2024, at around 11:50 p.m., New Mexico State Police Sergeant Toby Lefebvre was out on patrol on I-25 when he observed a vehicle going the opposite direction at a significantly faster rate than normal. Sergeant Lefebvre turned on his front radar, which indicated the vehicle was traveling at 112 miles per hour.
That is wild. So I think dash cam, I believe, is silent. Or sometimes it's silent.
After catching up, Sergeant Lefebvre noticed the vehicle was a fully marked Albuquerque Police Department patrol unit and that the driver was failing to maintain his lane.
An APD unit doing like over 100. Keeps driving off the road. 05121. Oh my God!
Wow, do you guys see him swerving? That is crazy.
I caught up to him at Bucky or correction, Bucky Foster.
According to Sergeant Lefebvre, as he was pulling the driver over, he initially thought it might be a stolen patrol car after seeing the driver's behavior. However, as Sergeant Lefebvre walked up to the window, he noticed the driver was an Albuquerque officer in full uniform who stated he was...
Wow, so he's a police cruiser pulling over a police cruiser because he thought it was stolen. To be caught by one of your own has to be devastating. Well, yeah, I mean, the way he's driving is so erratic. Like, I know you guys saw him. He was, like, going off at one point. Like, he was not even in a lane. At one point, he was completely on the left barrier there. So I would have, if I was a cop, I would assume it was somebody who was up to no good, too, because you would have to be crazy driving like that in a police car.
Heading to work.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. What's the hurry?
I'm just in my way to work. I have like 11 minutes left.
You have 11 minutes left?
Yeah, I
okay.
can win that 12.
Okay, and also, you're not staying in your lane.
I'm sorry, boss. I have a low tire. That's all it is.
Come back here and talk to me real quick.
Yeah, Gord. That was something I noticed too. I actually thought for a second, I was like, did he call over some more officers? Like, why is he turning his lights on? I don't know if he thought that was going to get him out of being arrested. But let's continue.
Officer Sergeant Lefebvre picked up a moderate odor of alcohol coming from within the vehicle.
And if you guys can do me a favor and hit the like button for me, okay? It's not difficult. All you gotta do is punch that like button. Punch that like button, okay? That's all you gotta do.
Right here. Over here. Yeah, so you're doing so stand right here. So did you even see me on the freeway?
I didn't see you. I'm sorry.
Okay. You didn't see me at all?
No, sir.
You didn't see me at all?
No, I didn't.
Okay, were you doing a buck 12? I turned around. I actually saw you in the media, and I turned around. And I've been chasing you probably since the 2:12-ish.
Okay.
Well, maybe that's why he turned his lights on, so he can be like, "Oh no, this is official business. This is official business." No, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So, did you a favor? You have your weapon on you, right?
What's that?
You have your weapon on you?
Yes, sir.
Let's put it in your car real quick.
The officer was identified as Jordan Hernandez, who has been with the APD for approximately 3 years.
Come back here. Yes, sir. Over here. When does shift start?
12, sir.
12? It's not here. So, Mr. Hernandez, where are you coming from?
Las Lunas.
Where do you live at in Las Lunas?
What's that?
Where do you live at?
Hunting ranch.
Shooting ranch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Hernandez, like everybody, I told you to put your gun away. Okay, I'll be flat out honest with you. Okay, 1, you're speeding.
Yes, sir.
With no lights on.
Yes, sir.
2, I don't know why you keep going off the road. That's why I stopped you.
Honestly, can I show you why?
Well, you can tell me why.
It's because I don't have my other light or my other key, and so my other key, like, it fucks me up because I don't have my other key in the ignition, and so it's pulling on my belt. That's why. Like, I can show you, sir.
So that's why you can't stay in one lane?
No.
Okay, no. I asked you, why can't you stay in one lane?
Because I'm trying to log on to all my stuff and everything like that.
Okay. So when did you start logging into it?
Honestly, I can show you.
You're not wrong, Michael Wilbur, right? If he's flying to work under the influence, right, then he's definitely, definitely having issues at home. Shout out to 513 people in the chat with us right now. If you could like the video, right, send a super chat, send a cash app, whatever you can do to support the stream. Please go ahead and do that, right? Don't just sit in here and not even, hit the like button for me. Just hit the like button. All right, let's continue.
Like, I've been trying to log on and doing all my other stuff. That's the only reason.
Mr. Hernandez, when did you last drink alcohol?
Yesterday.
Okay, I'm gonna check your eyes real quick. Okay. Put your toes together. Yep. I'm gonna turn my flashing lights. What time yesterday?
Probably 12.
Based on Sergeant Lefebvre's observations, he had Jordan perform field sobriety tests.
Midnight or
noon?
12 noon?
Yes, sir.
Okay, noon yesterday?
Yes, sir.
So like 12 hours ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No. Like noon the day prior.
Okay. I'm gonna check your eyes. Okay. So nothing drink recently?
No, sir.
Okay, any major head injury?
Just a headache recently, but nothing crazy.
Okay. When did you graduate the academy?
About 3 years ago, sir.
Okay. Was I one of your instructors?
What's that?
Was I one of your?
Thank you, Shuckin' and Jivin' TV, for the $2 super chat. He says, we was once kings and queens. Thank you so much for the support, Shuckin' and Jivin' TV. Well, if you're a king, you surely can send more than $2 in the super chat. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Just messing with you. Okay, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Typeface says, better not be no African on blue homies. What is going on? This chat is looking so weird this morning, but I appreciate you guys all. Just make sure you're not in here, just stomping around with dirty shoes on. Make sure that you guys are liking the stream, that you're engaging in the chat. If you don't got no money to send to support the show, which I appreciate you just doing, okay? Just make sure you guys are not just here dusting it up in the chat and not contributing in any way, shape, or form.
No, sir.
Okay. See my fingertip?
Yes, sir.
Follow my fingertip with your eyes only. And don't move your head. So, Mr. Hernandez, can you explain why I would smell alcohol from your breath?
I don't know why, sir.
Okay, here we go. Don't move your head. Mr. Hernandez, do you have a license?
On me, yeah.
Can I see it? Who's your sergeant?
Sergeant Folk. Jared Folk.
Okay, wait right there. This is very awkward for me, Mr. Hernandez.
White Honda Civic.
I want to see what's up. I'll be 10-6 here for a minute. You can reset my timer, please. Ignore Mr. Hernandez. Stand right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, same drill. Put your heel and toes together.
Yes, sir.
Is that your sides?
Yes, sir.
I once heard that if they're doing field sobriety tests, they already believe that you're drunk, right? It's just a formality. And that you're likely going to prison for DUI, DWI, whatever they call it in your state. So, they're going through the motions, but they know he's drunk. They can smell alcohol on him.
Don't move your head.
Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate the subscription.
Don't look at my knuckle. Look at my fingertip. Okay.
It's not really the going to jail part, because I really think that people who get DUIs or DWIs, the going to jail happens when you hurt somebody else. But losing your license, not being able to legally drive, that's really the punishment that sucks. And I don't understand why people are so willing to, lose that privilege, which it is a privilege. You have to follow the laws in order for you to be able to operate a motor vehicle. Anyone stupid enough to take field sobriety tests deserves to go to jail. It does not matter how well you do on the test, you're still going to jail. Yes, Bill John, absolutely. That's what an officer told me before. People who are in law enforcement, they said if they're doing them, you are already going to jail for DUI. So there's no point. Michael Wilbur says, typeface, you are right. Yeah, it's not about the jail time, right? It's about the privilege of driving that you lose. So.
Ready? I'll fingertip. Okay, same thing, I'll go up and down. On fingertip. Mr. Hernandez, 2 more quick tests. We'll possibly get you on your way. Any problems walking, bouncing, or turning?
I mean, just boost, but nothing crazy.
Okay. Those are what you use every single day?
Yeah, relatively. I changed the insoles on them, but.
Okay. Come over, baby. Stand right here. Yep, on my light. Yes, face your police unit. Put your heel toes together. Right now, the only thing I want you to do is just listen to me, okay? Can you imagine a straight line from your left foot to my right foot? Can you imagine a straight line?
Oh, I'm sorry, which way?
Just imagine a straight line from your left foot to my right foot. Nope, don't do anything. Just imagine a straight line.
Okay. Yeah. No, I thought that the breathalyzer was the most conclusive test, but apparently they're too expensive for police departments to just have them. So yeah, I guess they got to do these field sobriety tests. I like the Bud 120 cops watching their test fail. Chuckin' and Jab TV says, whenever you get a DUI, your insurance is going up drastically. Oh yeah, especially, because that's one of those things that will be on your record, especially if you're, end up being charged. Some people go to court to try and get it, dropped to something else, but it's not really going to happen. Your insurance is going to go up, you're going to become a liability. So let's continue.
Don't move your foot. Put your feet together. Okay. Imagine. Don't do anything. Just imagine a straight line from your left foot to my right foot. Can you do that? Okay. The line width of your foot or shoe is about 4 to 5 inches wide. Mr. Hernandez, do me a favor. On that imaginary line, place your left foot just like this. Okay. Go ahead and do it for me now. Mr. Hernandez.
I'm sorry.
That was your right foot. I said place your.
Oh, sorry. I can't hear you.
Okay. Now, Mr. Hernandez, place your right foot directly in front of your left, touching the other toe, like directly in front. Has your sides.
Can I take off my mask? I can't see it over my back.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
See, this is literally what I was saying right here. I don't know if it's actually cheap or not, but I will say that numerous videos of these, I've heard them say, we can't afford them. I've also, study policing, and not every police department has breathalyzers. The officers don't just automatically have it. I don't know what the process is for getting funding for it, but I think it's smart to have a breathalyzer because you can tell how much alcohol content someone has. That's something that you can't refute, right? There, obviously, if you take a breathalyzer and your blood alcohol level is above, then yes, you were DUI, right? You were DWI. So I would think that they would want something like that. That's so definite. Points are used for work, though. It's interesting how they're working into the section of business while you're traveling. I guess so. First DUI is a misdemeanor? I've never heard that. I have a neurological deficit, so these bounce tests I will fail every time. I think they ask people nowadays, do you have any, are you taking any medication, or do you have any conditions that would cause you to fail? I think we've heard it on a few of these body cams. Hey, Miss Jalen, she says back for more mommy duties. Oh, okay. Hope you're having a good morning. Yes, everybody, double tap the screen. We got hundreds of people in here. Can at least hit the like button for me, okay? Brian and Rachel Brisson, first of all, there's nothing that's completely uniform across the entirety of the United States, right? You should actually go into each individual state and look up what the exact laws are, okay? Second of all, you said you've studied law enforcement. There is no law enforcement study, dumbass. There is a criminal justice degree, which is what I have. Don't be greedy. Cost of entry is alike. Damn. Yes, thank you for letting them know. Gore. Okay, let me see here. I'm going to look up Rhode Island. Okay, let me share this, because sometimes it lets you see it. And this is what I tell people when it comes to how things are charged. Look at your individual states. I'm not going to get on here and tell you that anything is uniform. It looks like it's all blurry for you guys, so I'm going to have to read it. You're late. All these people copying Phantom. What are you talking about? Vincent says, I've been abused by cops my entire life. Well, you should probably, reconsider what it is that you're up to, that you're always in contact with the police. Yeah, people do buzz driving. I got a DUI. Cop had it in for me because my son unalived his abusive dad, hadn't been drinking. I made them do a blood test, came back negative. Well, see, that's why they'll tell you it's up to you. You can pay for a third party to do a blood test. So, because they're not going to just automatically get those. If they have to repeat on explaining themselves on how to do a test, they will fail you. They just don't tell you, but they keep trying to get you to pass the procedure. At the end, you will be taken. Well, this is what I'm saying. Law enforcement officers told me, like, if we're doing a field sobriety on test on you, you're likely going to jail. Obviously, nothing is uniform, right? The way each officer conducts himself is based off of a general manual of like policing and things like that. Thank you so much, Ambient. I was walking while male. I used to get lots of attention from police. I wonder what for, Trouble. Brian has been roaming around harassing content creators. Yeah, that's what it seems like, because he's coming in here acting like he just knows everything. He left and called the cops on me. Who called the cops on you, Michael Wilbur? Did I miss a part of your story? Let's continue. So I'm going to read it for you guys because you can't see here. Your first DUI is up to a year in jail, 500 in fines, and your license is suspended for up to 18 months. Community service of 10 to 60 hours if the driver is under 21. Wow, you should actually get way more time for that, though. I want to see if it's a misdemeanor or not. It doesn't really say. It just says here, your third DUI, 1 to 5 years in jail, 4 to 5,000 in fines, license suspension of at least 2 years. And I think once you get like 5 or something like that, it's 10 years. Let's see what the DUI laws are. It doesn't say if it's a misdemeanor or not. That part I'm not 100% sure about. Anyways, let's move on. We're going to go back to this video here of the Albuquerque officer who was driving while intoxicated and speeding at 112 miles per hour.
You can put him in your car.
He's currently doing field sobriety tests that he's not doing that well at.
Sorry, I can't see over my hood or my.
Right there. Okay, toes together. Right foot in front of left. Okay. You and I are in the same position. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when I tell you to begin, and only when I tell you to begin, you will take a series of 9 heel toe steps, down that line. Look, just like this. Watch me. Don't start yet. Just like this. 1, 2, 3. I took 3. You will take 9.
I think the point that the commentator was going to make, because I see you guys all, hanging on at people's last words in the chat. I'm going to say this. The point that she was trying to make is you have a DUI on your record now. I don't know if that's something that I think if you have a job that you're applying for that requires you driving, you might actually be excluded because of that. But I don't know if employers can see that on your record. I think it depends on the state that you live in. Again, I would suggest you looking up the laws in your own state when we have these conversations here. But I think the point that she was making in her comment was you're going to have that on your record for life, right? People are going to know you got a DUI. And that is embarrassing enough for myself. A DUI goes away after 10 years in Kentucky. I don't think it should. That's crazy. He is guilty. No emotions. Why are y'all in here talking about presidential stuff? I mean, I get that the inauguration is in like a couple days, but you guys don't have to show us that you're so happy about Trump being president again. Yeah, exactly, Michael Wilbur. You probably wouldn't be able to become a CDL driver anymore. Okay. That's what I thought, Miss Jalen. I thought they could. So people are acting like this is not that big of a deal, but employers, if they can, I believe they can look up your record. It might not be legal, but if they know how, they can. Well, certain jobs, your record is something that they look up. Like, for example, if you're going to work with children, they're going to look up your criminal record. So anytime that you've been arrested, any charges, they're going to see all of that. I've never been arrested before. So when they look up my criminal record, it's quick. They send that right away. There's nothing there. If somebody has even been arrested 3 or 4 times, it takes more time to come back. Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that. I'm definitely not trying to sound like I'm for or against the police. I'm just here having the conversation. Yeah, exactly, Angela. It's one of those things, just like an eviction. I don't know if those can ever fall off your record, but if you've been evicted before, that's not something that looks good. It's going to affect you for a long time. So I've had 3 DUIs, but only guilty of the first one in 1996. Oh, girl, you were running the streets in the 90s. Let's continue.
Once you take 9 steps, you'll make a turn. Keep your front foot planted with your back foot. Turn around, take a series of small steps. Turn all the way around. And now you're facing my patrol unit. Mr. Hernandez, did you understand the turning process? After you turn, you'll take 9 more heel toe steps down that same line, just like this. 1, 2, 3, back down number 9.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hernandez, throughout this test, keep your hand directly at your sides.
Yes, sir.
Stand out of your pockets.
Yes, sir.
Look down at your feet while you count. And count out loud so I can hear you. Also, once you start this test, don't stop it until you've completed it. And don't forget to touch heel to toe.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, sir.
You feel understand what I want you to do?
Yes, sir.
Next up will be step number 1.
1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, turn and face me. Heels and toes together. Hands on your sides.
Can we do it on the other side of your unit? It's super windy.
What's that?
Can we do the other test on the side of your unit?
No, we're state police. Everything's done in our front.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's super windy.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
I did the test.
Okay.
So,
no, I'm just saying that.
Okay. You gotcha. You can turn however you need to.
Okay.
So just watch me. Don't sorry. Just right now. I want you to listen to me, sir. Okay. So when I tell you begin, what I want you to do is raise the leg of your choice.
Okay.
Either your left leg or your right leg, approximately 6 inches parallel with the ground.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what the word parallel means?
Yes, sir.
You know how tall 6 inches roughly is?
Yes, sir.
Silence. Go, Cat. Okay. Watch me. Don't start yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise my left leg. Okay. My left leg still looks like my toes pointed. Both feet are straight. My hands on my sides. Once your foot is raised, count like this: 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Just keep on counting until you try to stop. So during this test, keep your hands at your sides. Look down the foot that's elevated and count out loud.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Do you feel understand?
Yeah. Can I?
Sure. You can face whichever way you want. Whenever you're ready, I'll tell you when to stop.
1001, 1002, 1003.
Okay, come over with me. Can you count backwards?
Yes, sir.
Count backwards from the number 58 to 43 backwards.
Yes, sir.
Don't sing them. Don't sing them.
Don't sing them?
Yeah, just count backwards.
Okay. 58, 57, 56, or sorry, 40 or 58 to where?
43.
43, okay. 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 44, 45, 44, 43.
You done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The alphabet.
Yes, sir.
Starting with the letter H as in Henry, stopping at the letter R as in Robert. Recite them forward. Don't sing them.
H star.
H star.
HIJKLMNOPQR.
Okay. Unfortunately, Mr. Hernandez, I believe that you're well over the legal limit.
Okay.
Okay. Go and take every. So I will do the favor of that. Would you disagree with me?
I wouldn't agree with you, sir.
No, I said, would you disagree with me?
I would disagree.
Okay.
Can I put it in my
Sure.
Sergeant Lefebvre determined Jordan was unable to drive, which resulted in him placing Jordan under arrest for aggravated DWI, speeding, and failing to maintain.
So I'm going to leave that one there. It's pretty straightforward, right? We saw him swerving, acting obviously like he wasn't in his right mind. Okay? Thank you guys for being here right now with me. We've got 543 people in the conversation with us. If you can hit the like button, I would appreciate that. I got some more coming at you guys right now. Okay? The next 3 stories in this video by Dr. Insanity are actually what a lot of people don't like me to be talking about, right? They just assume everybody who get caught up, the police is lying. They're overusing the race card. But this is instances where race actually did affect how these police officers treated people, whether or not they violated their rights, and etc. So let's get into it. All right, we're going to get into all that in this episode today. So make sure your panties aren't in a bunch on your way in. Okay, we're going to be very transparent here.
All of that, she's squeezing my hand for no reason. Will you quit? Stop touching that.
This is Officer Ashlyn Pluff, and she just punched this black woman in the face. What's worse is that this is a pattern for her, and she's well known to use excessive force on people of color. Up to this point, she and her department have gone unpunished, but there are countless cases of racist officers who forget they're being recorded, like when a cop repeatedly shouts slurs at an innocent black man. But first, let's look at a cop who did something so racist, it got him fined $100,000 and fired from the police force entirely.
And let me just say this, right? Because you guys know I do body camera footage very frequently, right? How often do you guys see me having conversations where I'm saying, oh, it's racism, it's racism? I don't, right? Because I understand that what we're going to see in body cam is going to be everyday people dealing with the police. It's not going to be unique situations. But the fact still stands. There is racism in law enforcement. So these are examples of it. This first one actually got me really annoyed because I think the only mistake that this young man made was being a young black man standing outside of a wealthy house in a wealthy area.
Here. That's what the issue is.
Yeah. The incident happened in San Diego when he approached Amari Johnson for smoking in a non-smoking area. The only problem, Johnson didn't have a lighter, cigarette, or vape on him. Even if he was smoking, do you think that warranted this treatment?
Off me, bro. What you grabbing me for, bro? I already told you. Just come here straight. You look goofy as hell, bro. Stop touching me, bro. Obviously, nobody's going nowhere. Hey, what I tell you? I told you I'm waiting for somebody to come here. They right here, bro. Oh, my God. You're tough as up. Hey, you tough as up. Stop. Hey, stop. Bro, you goofy as hell, bro. Hey, Mr. Dadges, you making a big-ass deal out of nothing, Brody. You're the one you making a big-ass deal out of nothing, Brody. You real big, though, huh? Hey, you real big. Hey, you real big. Hey, you real tough. Okay. Thank you, bro. Thank you. I have no reason to be detained by you, bro. Sit down. Bro, stop.
Now, you might be thinking, why is he bucking up? If a police comes up to me and I've done not a goddamn thing and claims that I have a cigarette in a non-smoking area and just basically trying to find some bullshit to come and put his hands on me, I'm going to have an issue as well, right? If I'm doing something, that's completely different. If I'm like in the mall stealing, or I just got pulled over because I'm smelling like liquor, that's completely different than this man waiting outside his friend's house and his friend starts to pull up just as the police officer starts to harass him. That's very different. So I think he's well within his right to be upset, right? You're not going to just come and put your hands on me for no reason. If it's in the commission of a crime, that's different, right? The context is different. I'm doing something, somebody called the police on me, whatever. That's very different. He's literally just standing there.
Doing? Y'all are funny as hell, bro. It's funny as hell, bro. Hey.
You guys are ridiculous. You don't get to. This is where I have the conversation on my channel very differently. If somebody is being unlawful, they're going to get handled by the police in whatever way the law says fit, right? So if you're caught drinking and driving, they have the right to pull you over, tow your car, bring you to jail. But if you're just literally standing there and they're claiming you're smoking in a non-smoking area, there's no cigarettes, there's no proof. Yes, I'm going to be upset that a cop is coming and grabbing me by my shirt. You know, this shirt is very tight. But he grabbed him by his jersey. Like, you don't just do that for no reason. All right, and let's just make sure you guys understand. I'm not trying to make this a conversation where I'm just claiming, you know, that he can act wild or whatever. But if somebody just comes up to you and claims that you did something that you didn't do, you're going to get upset too, cop or not.
That's fine, dude. You've already put your hands on me. Bro, I didn't put nothing on you, bro. It's on camera, so you can check me. Bro, y'all hella goofy, bro. I'm talking to you, and you smacked me. Bro, nobody smacked you, bro. Why I smacked you? You did it? Why I smacked you?
Dages claimed that this treatment was because Johnson slapped his hand away, a moment not clearly caught on his body cam.
What the f***, bro? Do y'all know what's going on?
I just got here, man.
This fool is in the wrong. He tried to come up on him like he's not doing shit. He's waiting for me to get back from the store, right? When I come back, instead of him just apologizing and being like, oh, you're right, I get it, he tries to grab him and choke him and put him on the thing. Obviously, my friend is going to put his hands back. This fool's in the wrong and he could just say that and let it go. And instead, he's trying to I don't know what he's trying to do.
Just trying to figure out what's going on.
See, so his friend pulled up and even said the same thing. He's just sitting there waiting for me. Right, we agreed he's a douchebag. He could have just kept it pushing even after the overly aggressive nonsense. And you guys, those of you who are talking about suing, you're not wrong, right? You're not wrong that he, can sue and all that. But let's see how this one plays out.
What's going on, man?
Bro, he's being a whole ass bro. Oh God, and you know you're wrong, bro.
This guy would be an awful lot more helpful if he wasn't so aggressive, but he's exactly right. Johnson was simply waiting for him to arrive in this spot when he was approached by Dages and was exhibiting no suspicious behavior whatsoever. But in the conversation that followed, he accidentally reveals the true reason for this stop.
He looked at my name like 30 minutes ago, bro. Why am I still here? I don't got nothing on me. I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm being a citizen. So you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm frustrated. It's not as hell. I'm sitting outside for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You really don't get it though. You don't get it. I understand you being empathetic, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't get it, bro. I already know what it is. Hey, I'm black out here. That's what the issue is. Yeah. All good. I get it.
Dages agreeing to this almost seems like a joke. Even if this was a sarcastic comment, it speaks volumes that this is something he feels comfortable joking about. If the cops let it go at
So a lot of people in the chat are, their panties are all balled and bunched up, they're crunchy and shit while we're reviewing this. But if you guys just heard that, he said, you're saying that I'm being arrested because I'm black, right? And obviously, whatever, he's engaging in the typical, script, especially when you are actually being unfairly targeted. And he says, yeah. Like you got to be able to keep your cool as an officer, right? Especially when you're unlawfully arresting somebody. And we're going to see the outcome of this case because everyone is saying he should have reacted a certain way to be able to get his way. He was well within his rights to be upset that somebody was trying to manhandle him and snatch him up by his shirt for no reason. Okay, he's well within his right to be upset about that.
At this point, all might have been forgiven. Johnson was understanding and the female officer was polite, but Dages decides he's not finished and moves in to arrest him.
So listen to me. You're being placed under arrest for 241C, okay?
Yep. All right. What's your 241C?
Assault on a peace officer.
Assault on an officer. Hey, okay, bet. Hey,
Bro,
hey.
you are a whole ass. Bro,
Call Jerry. Call Jerry. Hey, Nick, call Jerry. You a fake, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
Except for you're the one that hit me.
Bro, I didn't hit you, bro. You started grabbing me, bro. I told you to stop touching me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Assault a police officer. You know it's on film, right? How far you think this is gonna go? Hope you don't shoot me in this back of his car or some shit. Because you guys are corrupt officers. You're for sure corrupt. Because I'm not supposed to be in the back of the car in the first place.
Dages searches Johnson, then sits him in the back of his patrol car before taking him away to be charged. He also allegedly lied on his police report, saying that he observed Johnson smoking and that he took a fighting stance when he was approached. But Johnson wouldn't stand for this and decided to sue the city of La Mesa and Dages himself, citing excessive force and wrongful arrest. Around a month into the lawsuit, La Mesa agreed to pay a sum of $125,000 to Johnson. None of this money would come out of Dages' pocket.
Okay, right? Because those of you said he shouldn't have argued back or he wasn't going to win a lawsuit. That's a pretty penny. Now, I believe he should have, hunkered down for a little bit more. Maybe he should have hit up Ben Crump or somebody to get him a few dollars. But he ultimately won the lawsuit because he was unlawfully arrested. The officer was in the wrong. Nothing that he did was protocol. You don't just grab somebody up. And then on top of that, the thing that he's getting grabbed up for is smoking in the non-smoking zone when there's no proof that he was smoking in the first place. Like, this is straight up BS. And the reason why I'm covering this is because this is the subject matter that you guys wanted. This is the times when the police actually are in the wrong. You guys see plenty of instances of the police being in the right on my videos. So don't get your panties all up in a bunch. Yeah, because all you care about is money. Use a race card to get more money. Well, there would be no money to get if nothing wrong happened. Okay, this person got arrested for no reason, right? He got snatched up by his jersey for no reason. If it was somebody doing something, I agree. Yes, the police have the right to intervene now, put their hands on you, even bring you to jail, right? Because once you break a law, you lose freedoms. That's how freedom works in this country. So I don't know what people are. So is Al Sharpshit race baiting? Luis Martinez? I'm not going to answer that. Which do you think gets innocent people closer to deletion in the end? Well, I don't think people should have to worry about being deleted by the force that's supposed to be protecting them. So I don't know what you wanted me to say about that. Andy says, show respect and I'll show you respect. I agree with that. I agree. I treat people the way you want to be treated. If you have respect when you're talking to me, then I will have respect with you. If you would respectfully said, hey, I thought you were over here smoking a cigarette. And the guy's like, no, I don't have anything on me. I'm just waiting for my friend. It would have been smooth. They would have been just fine. That's exactly how he answered him. Right? But he want to go and grab him, snatch him up because his ego is bruised. That's when he stepped outside of his job as a law enforcement officer. All right? So let's continue this video.
But he was swiftly fired from the La Mesa Police Department just 2 years after he joined. Ashlyn Pluff, however, punched a black woman in the face, and her entire police department were just as bad and were all caught clearly on camera.
Before there was body cameras, I wonder how many sergeants would just light this thing up, empty this tank.
Ashlyn's police department were dispatched to a house party in Toledo, Ohio. Guests at the house weren't causing a disturbance, and they didn't seem violent or rowdy whatsoever.
And let me just say this, because the videos moved, Dr. Insanity moved swiftly from case to case, right? That one case was just that police officer who was acting that way. Obviously, his partner came and she was having empathy for the guy, trying to understand what was going on. In this case, everyone was involved. So I'm going to read LGPA's comment really quick. He says, not all cops are racist. It's a handful of bad cops that make all cops look bad. And I agree with that. And especially when we allow these things to go unchecked. So the fact that they did pay him out for the nonsense that he did and fired him, that's exactly what they needed to do. That's not anybody getting a free payout. If he didn't do nothing, he wouldn't be paying anything, right? The state wouldn't be paying anything if he followed protocol. Anytime that something like this is happening where the state is having to pay out, it's because he messed up. He stepped outside of protocol. and he was fired for it. So that's a really good thing that police department did.
Just 2 years after he joined. Ashlyn Pluff, however, punched a black woman in the face, and her entire police department were just as bad and were all caught clearly on camera.
You know, before there was body cameras, I wonder how many sergeants would just light this thing up, empty this thing.
Ashland's police department were dispatched to a house party in Toledo, Ohio. Guests at the house weren't causing a disturbance, and they didn't seem violent or rowdy whatsoever. So when the cops decided to move in to arrest them seemingly at random, it raised serious alarm bells.
Hey, who lives here? Who's the owner I can talk to? Who lives here?
This ain't got nothing to do with us.
I'm asking who lives here. You do? Yeah. All right. Arrest him, and them two.
Hey, you can't go in my house. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I ain't even do nothing to you. What do you mean? Why you pushing me off the porch?
Don't stay back. Don't stay back. Failure to disperse. Failure to disperse, everybody.
The cop tells them that they're getting charges of failure to disperse. And in the state of Ohio, this charge can only be given out when the suspect's presence creates a high likelihood of physical harm or public inconvenience. In this scenario, the cop is clearly just looking for a way to get the guests in cuffs.
All right, let's sit in the back of cars.
What is it? Why?
Okay, I'll explain to you. I stood here and I told everybody to go in the house. Listen, are you going to let me explain or are you going to talk over me? I stood here. I told everybody in here, either go in the house or leave. After I said that, nobody moved. I said you're going to jail if you don't move. Nobody moved.
The precise reason that nobody moved might be difficult for this cop to comprehend, but it's actually because he never asked anyone to go inside the house. He simply asked who lived there and then started arresting people. It should also be noted that if this call was for public disturbance, the commotion has increased dramatically since the police arrived, and it almost seems like they're the ones that caused it. But if you think the cops are about to stop there, you're dead wrong, as this officer decides to take out his weapon to threaten the residents.
Guys, let's go!
Time to move! Let's go!
Who else wants to go to jail? Because you're about to go. Go! Go! Why don't you listen? Just go home. I don't have patience. People go to jail when I'm around. You know, before there was body cameras, I wonder how many sergeants would just light this thing up, empty this thing.
These snarky remarks from the cop are frankly terrifying, as he's essentially admitting he'd open fire on everyone here if he had the opportunity. He's drunk on power, and he's not the only one. Ashlyn Pluff is also on the scene doing exactly the same thing, only her story ends in an even more violent manner.
You're not walking back up to that house. Turn back around. I don't care. No. No. Go.
Go then. Hey, no, you can't just.
I can take your ass to jail. I don't give a.
Failure to disperse. Get the out now.
Go.
Tensions are clearly extremely high right now. However, what makes the following footage even crazier is that the girl we're about to meet is professional boxer O'Shea Jones, an Olympic-level athlete who should be respected and admired for her talents, but instead...
Oh, wow. So the cop just happened to punch a boxer, right? Because that's the one where the lady, I believe that's the one where the lady punched her. We saw that in the beginning. Let's continue.
He was assaulted, plain and simple.
Back up! Go! I'm asking. Go! I'm asking for his back. Back up! I'm asking for his back. Swear down, okay? Give me your phone. Give me your phone. Nope. I'm not even up here. You can't do that to her phone. Back the up. What is wrong with y'all? You can't do that to her phone. Back up. Okay, give me her phone.
Okay, that's her phone, so you just gotta keep it.
Let me get my phone. No, you're not giving your phone to anyone. Breaking my wrist. Then stop moving.
Hey,
angry. Calm down. You angry.
Stop
She's
twisting.
angry. All I'm saying, she's squeezing my hand for no reason. Will you quit moving? Stop cussing at me.
So
She just hit me. Y'all just
that right there, right? This is why they concluded, and myself concluded as well, that all those police officers are wrong, right? The woman is the one turning up, but they're having her back. They don't care that she's doing way too much, which they know they are. They're going to defend her no matter what. That's when the police department has become toxic, right? When they're not willing to hold each other accountable. That's what happened here, right? And notice the words of these officers being guilty. This is not me just creating stories, right? Dr. Insanity is the one who put this video together. And these are cases where it's patterns of racist police officers doing certain things against people. All right. He said something like, I wonder how many sergeants in the past would have just lit this whole place up. Yeah, because literally On the one hand, people say, do what you need to do, just follow, comply so that you can survive. And then on the other hand, you have cops like this who use their power and the fact that they can do things like that to scare people, right? To make people feel in fear. And they wonder why some people see the police and automatically just run, right? They think they're better off running. Learn until they realize when they break their oath to the Constitution, it's an act of treason. You can look it up. There's only one way to deal with someone who creates treason. Who commits treason? Wow. I've never heard that, actually. That's an interesting argument that you're making. Well, all right. Awesome, Melissa. I love that. We need way more people studying this at the doctorate level. So thank you so much for that being your passion. All right. They are the biggest gang in the world. Relax, Ray Romero. Whatever he wants, this isn't true at all. Every PD has etiquette and policies on what to say and what not to say. Exactly. That's why that officer who said, yes, you are being arrested because you're black, the last guy, that's something that got him in trouble as well. All right, let's continue.
Tia, I know. She just hit me. I know. She just hit me. Ma'am. You see that? I got it. Right here.
This is supposed to be an Olympic boxer.
I am. I asked for your badge number.
Oh, mine? You were talking about mine? It's 355.
There's no way to justify this attack. O'Shea was surrounded by officers and restrained, and Ashlyn punched her for no reason other than anger and hatred. However, unlike the officer from before...
And let me say something. Do you think that this little ragamuffin hoe, would have put her fingers and hands and feet on another woman if she wasn't in handcuffs and surrounded by other police officers? No. Right? And that's the problem. A lot of these people who go on power trips, they use their roles to exercise power over people. They don't just have power as everyday people. They have to go in their role as a police officer and abuse people because they can't do it anywhere else and they have a need to do it. Right? They're going on a power trip and they're doing it at work. She's definitely a punk. The way she punched her, that nasty punch from behind, she's definitely a punk. This is why they need a personality assessment prior to being hired. You know, the problem is I don't think those tests are good enough. You know, I think a lot of people are still able to pass through and become law enforcement officers who have no business being law enforcement. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Imagine punching someone to shut them up while they're already restrained. She's literally cuffed and surrounded by so many officers. She is not in any way, shape, or form a danger to any of those officers, including that woman. So, y'all are funny. Hell no, she would not do this if she was by herself. She wouldn't do it if she was by herself. She wouldn't do it outside the context of her job. It's just the fact of the matter. These people come to work to find a place to exercise power. She doesn't have any, so she has to do it at work.
Or it seems that Ashlyn had completely failed to consider the fact that every cop here was equipped with a body cam, and she was in plain view of all of them. But in a tragic twist of fate, prosecutors found this use of force to be justified. They posit that O'Shea was resisting arrest, and the punch was a compliance technique. Instead, she was verbally reprimanded for her use of profanity in the incident, but received no criminal charges. But there's no better example of racism than yelling racial slurs at a suspect.
So her whole department, she actually got away with that. This is what I'm saying. This is why literally things like this have to be talked about, because a lot of this stuff skates under the rug. Now, I don't know if things have changed since then. This is from March. I don't know if that lady sought a lawsuit or something. Maybe not, but this is why we need to observe these things, because this stuff is happening all the time and they're just getting away with it. Henry, you seem upset, right? You can go and click my channel, right? You can go look at all the body camera footage that I cover, and there is no videos where all I'm talking about is all the bad that police officers are doing. Again, I told you guys when you guys came into this to not get your panties in a bunch. Okay, I have the conversations about the things that the public is doing that are getting themselves in trouble. Every other body cam footage that I'm doing. This was a subscriber chosen subject matter. So if you're upset, Next time I have a poll on my wall, on my community wall, of what type of subject you want us to do, create 100 troll accounts and choose the opposite one. Otherwise, don't come here crying. Okay? You don't need to be here crying. We're going to have the conversation regardless. All right? Definitely an abuse of power. They always get away with it. Cops are to keep us in our place and protect the interests of the wealthy. That is definitely a theory of what police officers' role actually is, Eric. So, good point on that. The police never met a good cop. The police never met a good cop in my life. Well, I'm sorry for that, Georgie. Henry doesn't understand you can only watch one bit at a time. Yeah, Henry is honestly, he's in his fifi. But we're going to continue to do the content. So, research indicated that antisocial personality traits on pre-employment assessment predicted citizen complaints and racial misconduct. Wow, that is crazy. And you said you're at the PhD level. That is insane. So let's continue.
That O'Shea was resisting arrest, and the punch was a compliance technique. Instead, she was verbally reprimanded for her use of profanity in the incident, but received no criminal charges. But there's no better example of racism than yelling racial slurs at a suspect, and that's what Officer Tim Garcia was caught doing on July 14th, 2018. The suspect, Dwayne Robinson, was allegedly getting aggressive and confrontational with mall patrons using vulgar language and threatening them. After Robinson was asked to leave, he complied, but the guards continued to follow him and eventually detained him.
They was like, you understand? I said, look, man, I went like that. I said, look, y'all already told me what it was. I was like, I'm already walking up. Okay. So I tried to go back that way. I was like, I thought there was an exit, and they grabbed my bag. I said, look, man, don't grab my bag like that. Yeah. All they had to tell me was like, look, sir, there's not an exit over here. Yeah. And they was like, all right, we want you to exit the mall. I was like, look, man, I'm not about to exit the mall, bro. I said, look, I want the cops to come here to let y'all know the y'all doing. Yeah. But look, I ain't even did nothing.
To recap, Robinson has basically said that he was confused why security asked him to leave, but he complied until they started to get physical with him. He then asked them to alert police to try and work everything out. But as it turns out, this would be a huge mistake. The cop would soon turn out to be not just rude, but derogatory and insulting.
Now, my question to you is, if they tell you to leave the mall, you gonna leave the mall?
No, I don't want to. That's okay,
well, I understand you don't want to, but if they tell you, are you gonna leave the mall?
I'm asking for what?
Okay, they don't have to tell you. They don't want you here, you're not here, okay?
That makes no sense.
Okay, here's the deal. Now you're going to get argumentative with me. They won't put you in jail. I'll put you in jail. We cool on that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You have your ID? Let me just get your information. I'm going to get their information.
All right,
and then we'll be up.
Y'all take my information. So, like, they talking about they want to give me for criminal trespass.
Yeah, they might give you a criminal trespass.
Look, I ain't even did. Why y'all give me criminal trespass? What you mean, bro? What you mean they can't?
Sure.
No, hold on. What you mean they can't?
Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to tell you that I'm going to make you.
Let me go, bro. Look, go ahead and let me go, bro. Look, go ahead and let me go, bro.
Stop tensing up.
Yes, you was.
You know what? Now you're under arrest.
What?
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Now you're under arrest for criminal trespass.
After Robinson allegedly refused to hand over his ID, the cops decided to arrest him. At this point, they have decent reason for this. Robinson did refuse to leave the property when asked, and if Garcia is to be believed, he even took up an aggressive stance when he was asked to hand over his ID. But that's not the important part. That comes when Robinson is on the ground, cuffed and helpless, as the cops start to become more blunt and abusive.
You say, look, give me your ID, so I'm about to give it to you.
But you did? No. You took it back.
What do you mean, bro?
Hey, it's all on camera.
Fast, bro. I didn't even do nothing.
Dude, look how old I am. You think I act back? I listened to all your stupid for like 5 minutes.
Look, bro, and I said, look, before I give y'all my ID, can y'all tell me, like, why would I get a criminal trespass?
And I told you, if you're not shopping here, they don't want you.
All right, look, and they didn't even tell me. I don't even have criminal trespass.
You do now. Now you're going to jail.
Tensing up like that.
Fool, you had my arm, bro.
No, I answer, bro. I'm not your fool. I'm nothing like that.
Bro, all I did was ask a question.
Right, and we asked you for your ID, and you refused to give it to us.
And look, I said, look, can y'all tell me? All right, give me your ID.
So we're detaining you
I'm about to give
for disturbing the peace.
Disturbing the peace?
Yeah, this is peaceful.
You don't want to give us your arms.
Man, that's
we have action. That's just the way it goes.
The way you were raised is bull.
Tell me how
I'm telling you how you're raised.
Well, you got me.
Yeah, you are.
Police officers are supposed to do nothing other than protect the public and de-escalate tense situations. But it seems that Garcia has absolutely no concern for his image whatsoever, as he decides to take it up a notch by using slurs and acting blatantly racist.
You too. Hey, here, look, this is the police. This is the police. You. How do you like that? Police said it right back to you. I obviously I don't. On camera, I'll say it.
You know what this is similar to? I know you are, but what am I? Imagine arguing with somebody that's already detained like this for no reason. Like, this is immature. It shows that he doesn't have a control of his emotions. All right, let's see how far he's going to go, though.
Well, I'm only 3.4% African. I'm 3.4% sub-Saharan African. There you go. Say it right. Put an R at the end. If you're gonna say it, don't call me. I ain't.
Not only did the cop just say all of that completely unapologetically, he did it all right after acknowledging that he's happy to do it on camera just to prove a point. But he wasn't done yet.
For being.
Look, y'all just trying to speak.
Oh man, I'm just trying to get it right. I'm trying to get it right.
And you not putting where you want me to go, man?
That way. Everything was going good. You and I had a good rapport.
Yes, we did. So, y'all didn't talk about kids. Trying to my life up, bro.
Your life? I think you your life up. You can do that. I think you will.
The verbal abuse should have been far more than enough, but once the cops got outside and close to their patrol cars, they decided it was also time to throw some physical abuse into the mix too, completely unwarranted.
What are you doing? Stop. I'm trying to take your shoes off. Just stop. Quit acting like I'm trying to take my shoes off because I have to search you. All you do is behave. Why can't you just
I don't think I've seen one video where the cops take off your socks and your shoes. Like, they're doing way too much. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is so blatantly, obviously, like, an exaggerate, like, an abuse of their power at this point. I don't understand why people would be mad that I'm covering and saying that this is an abuse of power. You should want this stuff to be called out so that when we see people acting drunk, running away from the police after they've stolen, beating their family members, right? Then we can say, okay, those people deserve to be in contact with the police, and this is excessive. They do not need to be taking off their socks and shoes before they get in the police car. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Never seen this disrobing before. Exactly, like socks and shoes. Like, at that point, you're just doing too much. And they're talking about, oh, you're supposed to behave. You're supposed to behave. At this point, he is not nobody's child. You do not need to talk to him like that. Get him in the car, bring him to jail, give him his charge, and keep it pushing. There is nothing else to be doing here. Do I think he acted stupid at some point in this interaction? Absolutely. But to be in the right when you're about to get to your car, you throw him on the ground, take his socks and shoes off. Like, this is some weird stuff. That's all I'm going to say. Very weird.
Dude, you keep tensing up. You keep getting it.
There you go. If you don't back on my feet.
You because we gotta make sure you ain't got nothing in there.
If you think it's unusual that the cops are taking Robinson's shoes off, you'd be completely right. He's being arrested for trespassing, not a drug charge, not a weapons charge, and nothing dangerous whatsoever, especially when you realize that the cops didn't even...
And no, they do not take your shoes and socks off in the middle of the road. You get searched when you go to jail. There's nothing you can do on your feet. There's nothing you can do on your feet while you're cuffed. So I don't understand, like, you're trying to act like that's a normal thing. No, they don't. And there's no probable cause for that type of search at all. It literally doesn't even fit into the context. He's being trespassed. They don't need to take his socks and shoes off. So this is not the fact that some of you guys aren't willing to call out stuff when it's just blatant. It's very questionable.
Search his shoes and forced him to walk on a hot pavement in the middle of July barefoot.
Hey, bro, can you stop harassing me?
This all would have been over if you would have just handed me your ID. You pulled it out of your wallet. You were fixing to hand it to me, and then you pulled it back. didn't want to cooperate, man. You had it. You were there. All you had to do is give me your ID. We're gonna get you up. We're gonna stand up. Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, look, man. Where? Y'all not gonna put my back in my mother.
They're gonna go with you.
Watch it.
Robinson was brought back to jail on charges of trespassing and resisting. But it's what happened to the officers after the event that was so interesting and gives us a clear window into the corrupt insides of a police department. An investigation was, of course, launched into Garcia, and Garcia's sergeant wrote that he thought a written reprimand would be the appropriate punishment. According to him, Garcia didn't use the word in a racist manner or direct it at anyone. He simply repeated the word back to Robinson. 2 lieutenants also reviewed the incident, and they concurred with the recommendation of a letter of reprimand. Thankfully, though, the deputy chief saw the footage and believed that the banter, escalation, and use of profanity was extremely unprofessional and forwarded the incident to internal affairs for a formal investigation. Eventually, the video made its way to the San Antonio police chief, who recommended an indefinite suspension for Garcia. He said it was by no means reprimandable conduct. This whole thing was as wrong as it can be. In a last-ditch effort to defend himself, Garcia topped all his actions off with a final derogatory and insulting statement, claiming that all he did was use a similar language as a means of communicating his point, repeating his language back.
This is when, okay, certain minority groups, right? They have a lack of cultural awareness. And they think just because another person is a minority that they know the best way to relate to them, right? This is what I see a lot. Because what he's trying to say is, oh, I thought if I spoke to him in his lingo, he would understand me. Okay, let's continue.
In order to speak a vernacular he would understand.
Wow.
In January of 2019, Garcia was indefinitely suspended from his role with the San Antonio Police Department.
Oh, but wait, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? I know y'all caught that. He was reinstated into his role. You see, they be getting away with the nonsense. But I do think that it was a failure. It was a failure because he completely misinterpreted and it came out in very poor taste. So I think he should have at least been a little bit more reprimanded than that. A vernacular he would understand. Basically saying he was trying to speak Ebonics to him. Okay. So the next video that I'm going to play a video of when officers are actually confronting each other, squabbling amongst each other. I found this video to be extremely entertaining, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Let's get right into it, okay? So this is instances when cops are actually attacking each other. And sometimes it'll be for honorable reasons. Sometimes they just have personal cop drama.
These were moments when police officers attacked their partner, starting with the police sergeant who beat up his police chief. This entire confrontation began on November 9th, 2023, when Bradley Beach police officers stopped a car for a possible DUI. Unexpectedly, their department chief, Leonard Guida, arrived at the traffic stop intoxicated. In November 9th, 2023, when Bradley Beach police officers stopped a car for a possible DUI. Unexpectedly, their department chief, Leonard Guida.
So I just have to replay that, right? Because I was very confused. I said, they're making a possible DUI, and then their police chief shows up drunk? That had to be a joke, right? I must have read that or heard that incorrectly. But that's not a joke. This is actually what happened. Melissa L says he's choking her. Oh, Lord. Let's see.
Arrived at the traffic stop intoxicated.
Why do you get a check in on the stuff that the people want? What's on the back of it?
What do you mean?
Look at tell me what's on the back of it.
It washed off.
Yeah, then get rid of it.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
You're a sergeant for that.
Okay, chief. Let me work this DWI, okay?
the department's chief pulled aside the sergeant in charge of the traffic stop due to an issue with a peeled-off jacket imprint. However, as the sergeant complied and resumed his DUI investigation, the chief decided he wasn't finished scolding the sergeant yet, leading to a very heated encounter.
Chief, I'm working. I don't have time to argue about a jacket, okay? Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Don't you fucking touch me. You have a problem? Fuck. You grabbed me. What? Now get out of here before you get a problem.
Take him out. Take him.
No, you're going to go in. Drunk again.
The officer's comments about the chief being drunk again revealed that this wasn't the first time the chief had pulled a ridiculous stunt like this.
You know what? I applaud him for standing up to the chief, right? Because the chief is over there being a douchebag. He's obviously drunk. I don't know if he knew those people, and so maybe he was trying to get him to not charge them or whatever. But it's like, what the hell are you doing here, right? So him grabbing him, yoking him up like that, the way they do suspects, good on him. That's what I'm going to say, okay? See, there's some that do speak up.
Expect the chief to sulk and leave with his tail between his legs. But that assumption would be mistaken as he proceeded to do something even worse.
Get out of here.
No.
Chief, get out of here or you're going to get locked up.
No.
Chief, you're going to get locked up. You grabbed me. I asked you 3 times to leave me alone. You're obstructing my DWI.
Billy, come over here.
Let me go.
That's the first thing.
I'm trying to get away from everybody.
Shut up, because you're in trouble now. Stop,
No, I'm not in
please,
trouble.
Stop,
I'm not in trouble.
Stop.
You're going to be in trouble.
Stop,
You're gonna be in
Billy.
trouble.
Billy.
Chief, I'm working at
listening to
DWI.
you. I'm listening to you.
Okay.
Shut up.
No.
You're in trouble because this is the first thing. First of all, I was about to say to you, you stupid. I was about to say to you, what do you need OEM for?
You're embarrassing me in front of the men about the jacket.
No. That's neither here nor there. Okay. That's neither here nor there. Now we got a real fucking problem, Billy.
Yeah, we do.
Billy, you're not doing anything when I'm on the scene, okay? You should know better than this, my friend.
No.
Listen to me.
Grab me.
No, I said come over here.
You're out of line. You grabbed me. It's on video.
Billy.
It's on video. I'm not going to argue with it. I have a crash to work.
Billy.
I have a job to do.
You're relieved. Billy, you're relieved.
No, Chief.
No, Billy. Please, Billy. Don't. You're suspended, Billy.
I'm suspended?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Imagine that. He's in the middle of working. You come up there and harass him and suspend him?
I'm suspended. I'm going home.
Yes. Billy, come here.
I'm going home. We can't talk. I'm suspended.
No.
I'm suspended. I'm going home.
And you're going to wait for me there.
No, I'm not. I'm suspended. I'm going home.
You're going to headquarters. You can wait for me there.
Let me work my crash.
This is
why I'm here.
Billy, you're suspended.
All right, if I'm suspended, then I'm not going to wait inside. Nothing more to say.
No, Billy. You have to. Let me explain. Billy, you're suspended.
As the sergeant began to leave the scene, the police chief, clearly on a power trip, escalated his unruly behavior by intimidating other junior officers into giving false testimonies.
See what happened there? Yes, Chief. What happened?
There's some type of exchange between you and Sergeant.
We're going to talk about that later. Everybody's like that. Billy's suspended.
Unfortunately for the chief, his powers failed him as he was placed on administrative leave pending investigations into his actions that day by the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office. The sergeant resumed work the following day. In the next case, the aggressive police sergeant nearly choked his junior colleague.
Wow, that is crazy. So he was unpaid administrative leave. I don't understand how he wasn't on duty, but technically he was doing the duties of his job by suspending the officer. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You see, there's way too much discretion in how they handle their own. I think he needs to go to jail too. Everything is on camera. The problem is a lot of times people are seeing this way later, and people have already moved on from these cases. I would be on suspension for the next 20 years. And these people protecting Serva, allegedly.
to death. On November 19th, 2021, while making an arrest on a resisting suspect, Sunrise Police Sergeant Christopher Pulley's did something completely unbelievable as the suspect continued to defy orders.
Watch your head getting into the car.
Miss, can you stop pulling the car? Just get in the car and you'll be fine.
Get in the car. Get in the car. Put in the car. On my wrist. Once you get in the car, she'll let go. So watch you said it.
So just get in the car.
She's gonna break my wrist.
All right, just get in the car.
And y'all just tell her to stop.
Okay, get in the car.
Get in the car.
Just get in the car.
All right, I'm getting in. Get your feet in. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You want to play games? You play with the wrong mother.
What you gotta do, man? You gonna mace me, mace you.
Look at me, mother. You want to play games? You ever get disrespectful with my officers? I will remove your soul from your body.
Do what you gotta do. No. Just let it be.
I don't understand that. We clear?
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you in about 5 minutes.
Even this officer's colleagues weren't exempted from his wrath, as a junior officer who tried to intervene to protect the suspect ended up being choked, threatened, and nearly pepper sprayed. However, the officer faced serious consequences.
You know what's crazy? It's like she was trying to do the right thing, right? She didn't want him to over-escalate and end up abusing a suspect, and he literally chokes her. Like, what the heck? That is crazy. Let's see what the consequences are for this guy.
Consequences for his actions. He was charged with battery and assault on a law enforcement officer, assault on a civilian, and tampering with evidence by deleting texts threatening officers who witnessed the incident to remain silent. The officers in the next incident didn't attack a fellow colleague, but treated an Army lieutenant who had just returned.
Wow, that is crazy. Wow, and she was actually trying to help him not cross the line. Wow, I'm glad he got charged with battery of Leo. That's probably one of the biggest held accountable officers that I've seen so far. If he does it to his wife, I wonder if yeah, that's really sad. And the fact that he was easily, quickly yoked her up, and then after she, after he got off of her, he even was still mad, That is crazy. Very, very crazy. All right, let's continue.
From serving his country in the most despicable manner.
Being treated like this. Lay down, you're gonna get paid.
While returning from deployment, U.S. National Guard B. Lieutenant Karen Nazario was pulled over by Officer Daniel Crocker of the Windsor Police Department in Virginia for a potential license plate violation. Instead of stopping on the dark roads, Lieutenant Nazario drove to a gas station to pull over, a decision that angered the officers and led to a highly tense and ultimately disastrous encounter.
Put your hands out the window and turn the vehicle off. Put your hands out the window. He's not complying, Jeff.
Come around your side.
Let me see your hands. How many occupants are in the vehicle?
What's going on?
How many occupants are in your vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
Open the door slowly and step out. Open the door.
I'm not getting out the vehicle. What's going on?
Get out of the car.
Keep your hands outside the window.
My hands are right here. What's going on?
Get out of the car now.
Get out of the car.
What's
now.
going on?
Get out of the car now.
The lieutenant's hesitation to exit his car was understandable, considering the officer's aggressive demeanor and the fact that they had their weapons drawn and pointed at him.
Get out of the car now.
I'm serving this country and this is how I'm treated.
Yo, look, guess what? I'm a veteran too. I don't know, babe. Get out of the car.
What's going on?
Work with us and we'll talk to you. Get out the car.
You received an order. Obey it.
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I?
Yeah, you should be. Get out.
What's going on? What
Get out of the car.
Get out now.
I have not committed any crimes.
You're being stopped for traffic violence. You're not cooperating at this point right now. You're under arrest.
For traffic.
You're being detained. Okay? You're being detained for obstruction of justice.
The officers escalated the incident further when they aimed their firearms directly at the lieutenant's face and tried to forcibly enter his vehicle. It didn't end there. The situation escalated even further when the other cop, Officer Gutierrez, decided to physically engage with the lieutenant.
Get out of the car now. Get out of the car.
Get your hands off me, please. Get your hands off me.
You know what? Back up there.
I didn't do anything. Don't do that.
Sir, get out of the car now.
Don't do that.
Hey, sir, get out of the car now.
Don't do. I'm trying to talk to you. Okay. I'm trying to talk.
Get out. Just get out of my
Relax.
car.
Can you please relax? I'm actively serving this country, and this is how you're gonna treat me.
Let me just say this too, okay? You're a little scumbag patrol officer. I don't care if you're a veteran. The fact that you would treat somebody who's not doing anything, they're not posing a danger, their hands are literally, you could grab his hands right if you needed to. He's not doing anything at all. And honestly, I believe he pulled to that gas station because he knew how you guys were going to come at him regardless of whether he stopped or not. Now, am I wondering why he didn't just stop? I am wondering, but I feel like maybe he was afraid, and I don't think he was wrong to be. I just think maybe he should have just stopped. Now, I can't say that he wouldn't have been dealt with as much aggression if he would have stopped on one of those dark, cold, lonely back roads, but I don't blame him for not stopping. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I didn't do anything. Whoa, hold on. What's going on? Hold on. Watch it.
And for us, he's deployed. Get out of the car! Get out of the car now!
That's up.
Sir, just get out of the car!
I'm trying to breathe.
Get out of the car and get on the ground now! Get. Head off your seatbelt and get out of the car!
Look, I'm just gonna please.
You're gonna do what you're told. Get out of the car!
The lieutenant was treated in a deplorable manner, but this was just the beginning of their mistreatment, as these unruly officers had more tricks up their sleeves.
Get on the ground and you're getting sprayed again. Get on the ground.
Can you please talk to me about what's
Get on the
going
ground. Get on the ground now.
Can you please talk to me
Get on
about
the
what's
ground.
going
Get on the ground.
Why am I being treated like this? Why?
You're not cooperating. Get on the ground.
This is really sir, just work with me. This is tough.
They flat.
This is tough. I can't believe I'm being treated like this. And I'm
Lay down and you're gonna get tased.
Put your hands behind your back.
This is tough.
I agree. All you had to do was listen.
The officer's voice was shaky, and he appeared to be in tears from the treatment he was enduring. The officers then proceeded to have a conversation with him, an action they should have taken initially.
Can you open up the window for my dog? I hear him choking. Can you open up the window, please?
Yes. Yes, we will. Why did you comply? The simple topic
It's
stuff.
dark over there. Those areas are dark. I did not feel comfortable.
Hold on. You felt uncomfortable here, okay? Coming here was not the problem. The problem is when you refuse to get out of the car. When we got here and you stepped out of the car, I can promise you this would have been over by now. Lieutenant, what happened? Why wouldn't you comply?
I looked out the mirror and I saw guns drawn. I put my hands out.
And we told you, we identified ourselves, told you to step out of the vehicle, and all you had to do was comply. And we'd have been done by now, okay?
The officers proceeded to search the lieutenant's truck, only to find it was squeaky clean. Realizing they had made a mistake, the officers immediately went into damage control mode.
All right, how's your eyes doing, Lieutenant? Better. We can either sit here with you until you get your eyes back, or you can see, and I mean at a good distance, you're safe to drive, okay? Go do your deployment, go continue serving my country, which I respect and I thank you for, okay? Or we can push the issue, write you tickets for no license plate displayed, and for obstructive justice. I don't even need to go that route, because that route makes the Army get involved, and I know how they are. But if you plan on making a career or even 6 years or whatever, it's up to you. I don't care. There's no need getting this on your record.
I do have a good rapport with my command, so I wouldn't feel right not talking to them about it. So
that's entirely. I'll put it this way then for you. They're going to hear from you.
The officer's tactics failed, as the lieutenant filed a lawsuit immediately after the incident. He was initially awarded $3,650 in damages, but subsequently filed an appeal in court. In the next case, both the sheriff and the sergeant threatened to arrest each other.
You get on my traffic stop again.
I know they didn't say 3,600. That is crazy. Yeah, Melissa, he has this weird thing with power. He felt like he was executing power over that young man. That's why he said, even though I abused you, right, I could just let you go and we forget all about this. That's what a lot of them do, and they realize that. Yeah, Jessica, here in New York, they're calling it true perfume scam. They're giving you a strip to small, knock you out, and rob you. Oh, that's crazy. What are y'all talking about in the chat? Now my blood pressure is up. I'm sorry, Michael Wilbur. I am so sorry. Trigger warning, though.
I will arrest you. Yeah, I'll arrest you right now. Do it, buddy. And we're going to do it. Charge you.
I'm gonna rewind it.
$250 in damages, but subsequently filed an appeal.
Yeah, I saw 3,600. That is crazy. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So the officer got arrested, but he never got his $1 million. $3,600 is crazy for that level of mistreatment. All right, so they're moving on to the next one now. So let's get into it.
In court. In the next case, both the sheriff and the sergeant threatened to arrest each other.
You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you. Yeah, I'll arrest you right now. Do it, buddy. And we're going to do it. Charges. Do it.
On June 24th, 2022, Sergeant James of the Hiawassee Police Department conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle after observing it driving recklessly in Hiawassee, Georgia.
Good evening. How are you doing? You doing well in yourself? I'm doing all right. What's your hurry? You're very recklessly from the city all the way here, man. In and out of traffic, not using turn signal. Man, I watched you. It took me this long to catch up to you.
I'm sorry.
You were 70 plus.
I didn't think I was up there.
I checked you at 65.
I'm sorry.
What's your hurry?
I got to get my medication.
You gonna try to kill people over medication?
No, well, it helps with my anxiety.
If that car in front of you would have slammed on brakes, you would have caused a wreck right here. Hang tight.
Then Sergeant James handed a traffic citation to the driver, and that's when a Towns County sheriff walked up and began asking the driver his own questions. What happened next was quite amusing to watch.
All right, watch coming through town like that, man. Oh, yeah, traffic's heavy, okay? All right, be careful.
Sir, got a question. Yes, come on, man.
Inside the city or out here?
Just right here.
Okay. Go pull the video at Valero. You get on my traffic stop again, I will arrest you. Yeah, I'll arrest you right now. Do it, buddy. And we're going to do it. Charges. Do it. Do it, Do it. There's cameras at Valero, and there's cameras at Napa that see you.
Are these two scumbags fighting over territory? Are you serious? They are doing too much.
You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your boy. Talk to you, boy. You a boy. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Everybody, thank you. Thank you. Info.
Oh my God!
The Hiawassee Police and Sheriff's Departments have been at odds over jurisdiction recently. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is involved, along with the Towns County District Attorney's Office. However, it's not yet clear if those agencies have launched any formal investigation. The next case was fight for dominance, as officers from the tribal police clashed with jail officials over custody of a suspect.
Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to get into that one in a second, but they literally were fighting over territory. That's so weird, because that's really what it is. Jurisdiction is where your powers of authority stop and begin. And that's why they asked him, how long has he been following you? Because he wanted to see, did the officer step into his jurisdiction? It literally sounds like a game. I'm sorry, guys. That's what it does. I'm sorry. I have to agree with Georgie. That's just such a bizarre thing. Now let's get into this next one. I believe it's tribal police versus the other police. I don't know too much about the tribal police, so yeah, it's over money, over funding, probably.
Are you somebody with little?
On December 18th, 2023, officers from the Lighthouse Police Department, a tribal law enforcement unit, stormed the Okmulgee County Jail to serve an arrest warrant to a non-native man they had arrested a few days earlier, but they were met with utmost resistance.
I'm not taking the move. You guys are taking it. I'm not taking it. County Central, do not roll my pre-booking to Sally Port door.
Well, we can stay here all day.
That's what we're going to do until you take him out of my building.
I'm not taking it. Sir,
You're the one committing crime.
No, I'm not, sir. I have not accepted him in my facility yet.
While tribal law enforcement officers are responsible for dealing with tribal members who break the law, the suspect they were attempting to apprehend in this instance posed a challenge as he was non-native, falling outside their jurisdiction. Instead, jurisdiction belonged to the sheriff's office. Nevertheless, the tribal officers persisted in pursuing their action.
He's not in my custody.
open this.
What is happening here? What is going on?
As the tribal officers persisted in their attempt to gain entry, jail staff intervened, and the situation quickly escalated into a messy confrontation.
Are you somebody with little? You You're gonna put your hands on him? No, don't put your hands on me. Put your hands on the captain. No, come on. Sir. Nope. Out of my building, gentlemen. You're gonna go with us, I promise. See, you keep putting your hands off of him. That's all my deal. You put your hands on me first.
Actually, that's a few else. Not a lot of folks.
Your is going too.
They're refusing to take them.
Yeah, we don't recognize that you already gave permission. Okay,
that's
the state of Oklahoma.
That's not an option.
It is the director saying we're not. The director of fleet?
Yeah. The tribal officers eventually had to back down and leave the prison premises, but later, an arrest warrant was issued for the prison staff on charges of assaulting a law enforcement officer. The next case was all about ego, and the situation nearly spiraled out of control.
You're not going to talk about chief like that, sir. That's not going to happen. You can get the out of my face. I don't give a who you are.
On January 30th, 2024,
men be having just as much drama as women. You see that? That was catty as hell. He said, "You're not going to talk about my chief like that." And now he didn't say my chief, but he said, "You're not going to talk about chief like that. You ain't going to talk about my girl like that." That's what it looked like. Nothing better than cowboys and Indians. You guys are silly.
Lexington police officer spotted a vehicle exceeding the speed limit. He quickly initiated a traffic stop and pulled the driver over. However, as he approached the driver, he was surprised by who he was dealing with.
Hello. Are you sure I'm going to SWAT call out? Okay, so this Podio, could you do an 85 and a 55? I was going where? Call out. Where we going? The SWAT call out right over here. I didn't know we had one. We have an armed guy barricaded in the house. Used to be a police officer. And where at? Right down here on. Here in Lexington? Yeah. We have an armed person, but we don't know about it. All right, I'll call our chief and let him know.
The person caught speeding was Cleveland County Sheriff Chris Amison, who was hurrying to a SWAT call. Surprisingly, the Lexington Police Department was unaware of the situation, prompting the officer to call his chief to inquire about it. Just 4 minutes later, the officer arrived at the standoff, accompanied by Lexington Police Chief Ronnie Johnson. Chief Johnson was visibly upset about being kept in the dark regarding the situation and soon expressed his frustration.
Someone tell me what the fuck is going on?
Tom right here.
Where's Captain Tom? Captain Hawk. Yeah. Where's Captain Hawk?
We've realized that I'd like to know what's going on in my own damn city. We would have notified you, sir. We would have? Yeah. Well, hold on. I've been down there at the PD.
According to the call, it says Lexington was notified they refused to respond because of the call.
Okay, I don't know who the said that.
First of all, sir, I know the chief. I'm just telling you.
I don't appreciate all of this going on and nobody notified me a damn thing about it.
With tensions already high due to the standoff, the Cleveland County deputies started to walk away, but the Lexington police officer wearing the body camera was not finished.
Okay. I'm sorry, what's your name?
You want a my ass later?
Sir. I am too. You're not going to talk about chief like that, sir. That's not going to happen. You can get the out of my face. I don't give a who you are. Okay? This is my county, too. Back up. No, you don't.
What the fuck's going on?
This is going to be good. Okay? You need to stop. Chill out. Back up. Everything's going to be okay. But you need to back up.
I get it that you can be riled up, dude.
Negative.
But this right here ain't what
we're not going to be disrespectful. Okay? Sheriff, you need to back up out of my face, sir. You have no authority. You're not going to tell me what to do, mother. You're not going to get in my sheriff's face, just like you told me.
You're not going to get in my sheriff's face. What are they even fighting about? You know, like I don't get this. This is a whole lot of squabble for a whole lot of nothing.
I mean, back up, John.
Hey, pull him back.
No,
he's in the sheriff's face.
He's getting ready to go to jail.
Stop.
He's getting ready to go to jail.
Stop.
celebration or something like that. Understand?
Oh, yeah. Perfectly clear. Perfectly clear. Come on. Let's run that.
Chief Johnson stepped in to pull his officer back, and Sheriff Amison told them to leave. The situation did not escalate further, but it appears that both agencies have some underlying issues. If you enjoy videos like this, please like, subscribe, and watch this one.
All right. Let's see. Do I got anything else for you guys? I think that's all I got for now. I do have some more videos, but guys, I want to end this one. We've been 2 hours into it, and I think we've seen a good amount. I do have some more, but they're sort of graphic, and I've been getting in trouble. YouTube has been stinking me in the tush for these ones. So I'm not going to play it. It's a little bit of a violent crime. But, you know, I'll share the links with you guys if you guys are interested in it. No, I'm not going to share the link to that. I'm just going to see you guys on the next one, okay? I'll be back tomorrow, probably at the same time to do something. If I do something tonight, guys, it's going to be true crime. It likely won't be body camera. It'll probably be stop body camera, but it'll be like a true crime. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys check the notification bell and hit all notifications so that you're notified when I go live. Please hit the like button on your way out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.